How you
Yes, sir.
doing? Peace, man.
I'm, I'm good, my Lord. How you, man? Peace to you, my brother.
I'm good. I always look at this as like a kind of like a measure of time when we do these shows. Like, damn, it's been a month. You know what I mean? So it's
Exactly.
crazy.
Man, this year is moving fast, brother. It's crazy right now. I didn't even realize it's May. You know what I'm saying? It's like the end of the year will be here in a minute, man. You know?
Yeah,
Shit.
it's
Yeah.
moving. So yeah, no time to waste. So constant elevation, episode 5 with Brother Jay. We're trying to maintain some consistency. We do it once a month, and they've been
Yeah.
great. I really look forward to these, and so yeah, we got some time. Yeah, we may have to stop at 9 just because
Right.
Instagram might cut the show, and then we just run it back. Right after. I mean, oh yeah, run it right back.
That's all good. All
So
good.
so yeah, a couple of things real quick. A couple of ground rules. Peace, everybody joining into the show. A couple of
Indeed.
ground rules.
Salute to everyone in the
If,
house. Respect.
if you
Brother
have
Ali.
comments or questions, we're basically doing this is an organized discussion here. So please try to make sure they're about the topic. If your name's Day Day and used to see Brother Jay on Flatbush, or you saw him at Alpha Square in '86. Sorry, Day Day, we don't care right now. So, for real.
You the bouncer and shit.
Use the question. Use the questions feature. There's a question thing right there. Is that the real
Yes.
action of love? Is that the real action of love, or is that somebody else pretending to be action love?
What's my bigger action for Flatbush? Word. That's my
Use the
name.
questions.
That's
Use the
my name.
questions feature below, and what else? Also, if you get on some bullshit with this, I will send you home just like I do on the page, man. Can't have that on here. So, gotta lay the ground rules. So here's the topic, and I wanted to give a little background to this. So big up, it is real action love, I think. So you said, real quick, just want to give it an
Peace
acknowledgement
to
to him.
God. Peace to God. We come up together, man. It's more than special when it come to action. That's my homie for real. For real,
Word,
for
for
real.
real. Big up to him. So
My cousin. My
it's me.
cousins on here too. I got a couple cousins on here too.
Word, it's me officially. So
Yeah, fam.
so then here's how this happened. The last show, we were talking about something, and you said you said there's no rules in hip hop, and I agree because there's really aren't. And then I was just thinking like, well, there are some unwritten rules, and I wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to talk about just should there be something organized as far as rules go and stuff like that. So the way I wanted to start off, and the first thing I
Yes.
wanted to say is that this our page is carrying the culture. This is about more than just about rap music. Like I came up as a b-boy, so first, and I practiced in basically all of the elements. So we're gonna touch on some of the quote unquote rules about all of the elements in particular, and then focus on the MC aspect, and then some of the things that are kind of universal across the board. Some of the
Right.
rules. So that's kind of how we're gonna go. And if we have some time, we're gonna try to look at and see if there should be some maybe some standard guidelines or something like that. And of course, whatever else you have to add. So sound good?
No doubt, my Lord. I've been looking forward to this. I'm glad that this topic is coming up because it's really going to change people's direction as far as hip hop is concerned. A lot of cats are just stuck right now. They're stuck, remembering their times and remembering their days. But this thing has to evolve. You got to look back and kind of iron out a lot of the shit that wasn't addressed. And this is a major, major situation right here we're building on today. So I'm
Right.
excited, man, that you chose this topic.
Cool. So and I wanted to get into first, one thing I wanted to ask you is,
Yeah.
as far as the 4 elements of hip hop go, did you, other than the MCing, because I'm not sure if you told me, like, did you do anything else? Were you DJing at all, graffiti or anything, or were you strictly focused on the MC aspect?
I started as a DJ, and I gave up the DJing because Shaft was better than me. So you know what I'm saying, I wanted to be in the DMC and all of that. I practiced hard on
Oh,
mine.
for
The
real?
Shaft was dope. Yeah, yeah, for real, for real. I mean, that's how I learned all my love for records. If you notice how East Blackwood was built, it was all breaks, and that was my DJing evolving to become a producer and whatnot. So that was my debut with that. You know, coming from security and Blackwatch to coming to being a messenger of Blackwatch. I used my DJ skills to get underneath me. So so
Wow.
yeah, I started with the DJ, and I don't break dance. I didn't have, you know, none of the ISR rain jackets and all that kind of thing spent on my back and all that. But I respect it, you know what I'm saying, because I spun the music for it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I respect all the elements of the game, the artwork, everything. I wasn't, you know, good with the graffiti. Letter Shaft was good at that. You know what I'm saying? But otherwise than that, my lord, just DJing and MCing, and then just meshing them both to become a producer. That's where I was at.
Okay, okay, yeah. Thank you for sharing that because I wanted to touch. I didn't want to assume anything as we go through these. So I'll get into the. We're going to touch on a couple of these. I'm going to touch on the b-boy element first. And salute everybody joining in. Um, this was close to me because I came up this way, and there's a couple unwritten rules that are there. Listen, I get sent stuff all the time of dudes flipping all across the stage and flipping all across a thing. That is not b-boying. That's acrobatics. That's break dancing. There is a difference. B-boying, there's a culture behind it. B-boying, you need to up rock and top rock first and dance to the music before you learn how to jump all over like the flying Wallendas up in this motherfucker. For real. That is the major thing. All these competitions right now are kind of ruining this shit because it's about who's doing the biggest flip. This ain't the circus. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Up rock, top
Right.
rock, get your rhythm, get your flow, get your flavor, get your steez, lend your power. And this is a dance. This is not a fucking trapeze act. So that's my
Now
little
let me ask you something. Where was the book of breakdancing to where what you talking about was put out there to top rock first? Or, you know what I'm saying? If I'm a kid watching TV, I'm watching graffiti rock, I'm watching Beat Street, whatever it is, I get hyped like I'm watching a Kung Fu movie. You know what I'm saying? When the Five Deadly Venoms used to come on, you go outside and you fighting with your friends. I'm Toad, I'm Snake. When did the book of how to do it, when was that distributed to the people to be able to obey that rule?
And unfortunately, the problem, like most of our elements and like most of our culture, shit has been word of mouth. And there is no real book. I mean, I've seen books, but as far
Right?
as like as far as explaining the culture, no, and that's part of the thing. Excuse me.
Now, we can't govern how people dance because, you know, I mean, we're going to go into the elements of how the MCing and all of that type of thing, but dance is the ultimate level of expression, man. You go out there, cats is imitating Fred Sanford, and, you know, one cat see it, and then they imitating it, and then they'll add something to it, somebody doing the WAP, and, you know, we can't govern the expression of an element. You know what I'm saying? And how people interpret what they've seen and learned and how they take it is their business. As long as you're not biting, you know what I'm saying?
I agree to a
and
certain
claiming that.
Yeah, I agree to a certain extent. I mean, I'm not trying to tell people how to dance, but at the same time, because I dance mostly to house music, and that's like really free form and stuff like that. So I'm not always. It's not about doing certain moves. But here's what happened in the cipher.
Right.
Dudes will wait for a beat, go do like a predetermined set of flips, and then it's like, like I rock. So rock that shit. That's a lot different, yo. This what I'm saying is cats are not dancing now. So that's the thing I'm talking about. Like,
Well, they doing talent show dances now. If you ask me, you know what I'm saying. This is stuff that you see when you see them doing the little heart thing and, you know, everybody's doing this and skiing and all that, that's talent show dancing to me. That's, you know, that's stage. But when you get that freak in you, when you go somewhere to a jam and something possesses you, you know, to get the rhythm and whatnot, man, that's, you know, that's the ungoverned. But right now it's being controlled, it's being used to program us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, certain things don't belong in the dance world. When they was imitating the Crip Walk, for instance, somebody went to Cali and got caught up and seen somebody, you know, watch the stomp and whatnot and thought that it was cool to do whatever. They had to shut it down. Everything is not, you know, for the game. Everything is not to be imitated. What I'm surprised at hip hop not doing is that why didn't they create the gymnastics type of programs to teach people how to do that advanced, you know, body rocking and windmilling and all that kind of thing. They try to make it like, you know, hip hop governs a thing. You could have opened up a small gymnastics situation in your hood and had cats coming to learn the forms and increase the athleticism.
Right.
I
said, no, I was going to say that was going on to a degree. All of that was going on. It's just,
right.
It stopped. You know what I'm saying? It stopped. Let me ask you this question.
Sir.
What do you feel about breakdancing or b-boying in the Olympics?
Advanced, maybe, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I would rather see that kind of athleticism take over the gymnastic, you know, the gymnastic realm. That's an incredible. The advanced levels of b-boying are incredible athletics, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is incredible athletic, but I don't know if it's organized enough to be able to, you know, to be in an Olympic situation, man. It's not. It never was organized like how we talking right now. Who was doing the training? All the best pop lockers and stuff like that. I never seen them say, "Hey, this is how you flip. This is how you throw your legs." Cass was really learning that shit off of just seeing it and biting it. You know what I'm saying? And biting the movements and keep doing it until they got it. You know, it was too much of a freestyle thing, but we never coined it. We never made it ours, like beat making and all that other shit. We never coined it and made it ours. That's an art. You know what I'm saying? The MPC is not a instrument. You know what I'm saying? But we made it an instrument. We made it do what it do. So the same thing with the breakdance. You know what I'm saying? We made it what it is. It's really a branch of athleticism, showing that cats in the hoods are amazing, standing on their hand, doing the mailman, whatever it is they doing. It's incredible. You do all that off of biting without training, just natural. Come on, man. I think they were kind of looking at our people kind of wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you see somebody do something like that, you get them to the Olympic camp immediately and be like, compete, learn how to pull up on these bars and flip out and get a gold medal and live good. You ain't got to escape through trying to be Beat Street, trying to be noticed on some rap shit. That, you know, that shit didn't last. You don't see nobody breakdancing to all this shit, that shit that's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? When they eliminated us, the MCs and the breaks, they eliminated a lot of those elements, man, because it was based on, you know, that kind of rock. The music now doesn't even have the right tempo and pocket for that.
No, it doesn't.
You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't, bro.
It doesn't. So
it doesn't, man.
So you're saying no, get to breaking in the Olympics. You don't think it would be a good thing, ultimately?
Nah, man. I think some of the athleticism that's there should be entered into the Olympics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would love to see some of that energy in an organized situation, adding on to a genre that's already set. Gymnastics is set. You look at some of the sisters that are in that gymnastics doing 50 million flips. Imagine them in the club, you know, breakdancing or whatever. I wouldn't make that a craft like that, man. Hip hop is spoiled, bro. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't give them anything without organizing first, bro. Anything. And I'm part of it. So, you know, I feel that all the way 100%.
I hear you totally on that. You know what I'm saying? I think we would have to make sure if it's done right, you have to have the right people running it, and can't just say, okay, here, go ahead and set it up for us. I mean, we got to run that shit if you're gonna do it.
Yeah, we got to run it, bro. Right. It's because we didn't do it like that and coin it. It was why people made it goofy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How do you get somebody spinning on their head, back to their ass, standing on the hand, and just treat it like goofy? You doing better than a lot of kung fu actors or even some of these gymnasts and some of that accord, my lord. You know what I'm saying? How you just treat that as a joke or a fad? That's crazy.
Right.
We missed the bus. We missed the bus, bro.
Facts. Let's go to the next element real quick. Graffiti. I was a graffiti writer. I still write every now and then. I just had some bad luck with the police multiple times. I couldn't be getting no years. if I'm gonna go to jail, I'm gonna do something for real. You know what I mean? I'm not. It's like I can't be like locked up for writing my name. So, but it's still a very, very important element to me. It is interesting about graffiti though. It is the one element that stands on its own. There's a lot of people that write that don't fuck with hip hop at all. Graffiti has existed before hip hop, and it's the one we adopted and took it. But graffiti, just respect to the graffiti writers that just write, and that's what they do. Like there's a lot of the rock and roll crowd and shit of the late '70s. Some of the best writers were, you know what I'm saying, just white kids that were into rock music. So it's a different, right. We took it. So that's very important.
Yeah.
So
what's your feeling on that?
What's that?
What's your feeling on the rules of graffiti? What do you feel about that?
I'll just get into a few just some etiquette things as far as writing. New writers. The etiquette is a piece goes over a throw up, which goes over a tag. Cats know the etiquette. Do not go out and like with your tag and your marker or something, or even with your paint, and write over a big of an established piece that's been rocking for a minute. That's right. Fucking. That's just some bullshit. Originality is another thing for us. Spidey, and we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the rules that are kind of across the board. Not the originality being one of them. Graffiti also is interesting element because it's illegal, and so yes. There's that. If you're on that street shit, keep your mouth quiet. So that's a big thing amongst writers. That's why I can't get any writers on the show. I'm trying to catch my my man. Yo, listen, one of the most prominent writers in New York was like, he goes, I don't even FaceTime with my wife.
Wow, like that. Totally incognito, huh? But that's real. I mean, yeah. Most of these, but look, man, hip hop was renegade science at one time. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's part of this conversation, that the fact that we didn't want to let people in at one time. Like, no, you can't come to our parties. No, you can't come to me to the train yard while I'm tagging up and setting off my territory. Tomorrow morning on the 4 train, my whole tag will be in front of 50,000 people going to work. It wasn't allowed. So, we were, all hip hop elements were kind of condensed. That's why it was so dangerous to go and see real MCs, gunfire, death. You know what I'm saying? Some of the places that I was learning from, my lord, even some of the big clubs. And this is why hip hop didn't get the position to go join the Olympics and different things, because we can't even have a party and be safe at one time. This is why they want to bottle us so badly, my lord. You know what I'm saying? They've been studying us for years. You done modeled the beat machines and everything to the cadence to our rhythm and just give it to people who don't even have a clue. You know what I'm saying? We got penetrated and taken from at the same time. So even with art, why some of those graffiti writers shit in museums? You're not going to get money just for fucking up the English language. You obviously have another talent. If you could take a spray can and as accurately put down that kind of art that I see on the trains and things of that nature, bro, that's an incredible talent. If you were given the right tools, that's going to be an incredible thing.
Right.
I know a dude, look, one of my elders in Leimert Park, Ben Caldwell, he got tired of graffiti artists hitting the turf so bad in the neighborhood because it's fucking up the neighborhood. You're killing the value of the neighborhood. He created canvases in the back of the spot that he owned where they hold the Project Glows called Chaos Network. He put canvases in the back to kill the fever of casters writing on everything because it started to become savage. You know what I'm saying? You would write on people's cars, really, if you had enough to drink or smoke. Again, we don't have the discipline in order to put it in the right place. But when the elders intervened, they said, look, man, if you got the fever like that, and he's an artist, He's like, yo, man, look, I got this canvas in the back. Y'all go ahead and just properly take the turns and finish your canvas and pass it on. And the hip hop is going on in the back. That was a way to organize it. Otherwise, you killing our neighborhood make us look like we don't deserve to be where you at. When your kids write on the wall, you bust their ass. What happens when a grown person writes on the wall, writes on the drains? You know what I'm saying? You're making the art into a savage looking thing, and it's not. It's a form of expression, but it's going overboard, as hip hop does. You know, in my opinion.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a writing is a weird thing, fam. It's like it's one of the craziest adrenaline rushes I've ever had, and I've done a lot of wild shit. And it's like it's wild, like jumping off of roofs and shit, and climbing shit. You feel like Spider-Man, and you got it's wild. So yeah, it goes overboard. I mean, I would go out on a night and in 2 hours, like an entire neighborhood be, you know what I'm saying, mosh shit. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. There's one last rule I wanted to get into about graffiti before we move to DJ, and unless you got anything, is though cause there's yeah, exactly. Fucking you don't tag on personal shit unless it's cop cars, or box trucks are okay, but not personal whips, not personal cars, not personal sometimes the size of the apartment buildings in New York, but not fronts of people's cribs, and not houses of worship, and not nature. You don't fucking tag trees up like an asshole. I seen somebody bombing up some nice ass shit out in nature on a tree. I'm like, you fucking
yeah, but look, bro, if you're not gonna tame the savage and teach them where it's overloaded, you can't tell nobody where to rebel and where not to rebel.
I'm just talking about the rules. I can't control people. I'm just telling you.
But again, ain't no book. Ain't no book. I didn't get no book to say, yo, man, no churches, no cars, no police thing, no this. Ain't no book. It's a rebel science. How many cats have died in them train tunnels in New York, bro? Hitting that electric. Huh?
I was gonna say, especially in graffiti, there's no book. You know what I'm saying?
Correct, my lord. We done lost a lot of life with cats just risking trying to get that adrenaline you speaking of, cats falling off and shit. You know, New York go high and low. It's not all underground. Cats was risking their life just to have they tag on a billboard in the morning. People going to school like, oh shit, the homie got up on the thing. How is that a positive element, dog? Just to risk your game just for like some ego accolade type of shit, man. Come on, bro.
Hip hop is full of ego, but it's different. It stands alone. I mean, I've always said it, man. Graffiti. Listen, graffiti cats are crazy. We can I'll talk about it all day. Graffiti cats are fucking. They're just nuts, man. They're different cats, man. I mean, I can't even. That's my best explanation for you. Like, if like graffiti cats think different. Like, they're wild dudes, man. And so, I mean, I part of your person. It takes a different person to go out at 3 in the morning and go climb under shit, and it just takes a different person to do that too. So I mean, let's just acknowledge the person.
Indeed, but you know, when they started commercializing all the elements that we're speaking of, we started giving it away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know too many graffiti pieces sitting at the Smithsonian and the National Museum and all this other thing, bro. I don't see it because we never.
No, there are some. I'm gonna cut you off. There are a lot of writers now. It's a big thing for a lot of writers to be in galleries and shit, doing some shit now these days, man. I mean, there are.
I'd love to see it.
Writers are getting paid. I mean, I see it a lot. I mean, just because I'm really connected. I mean, to that, and more than it's because it's more accepted in the culture now. Before, because it was such a renegade thing, cats were like, oh, you're in the gallery, you're a fucking sellout. But now it's like, yo, go get that paper. So cats are being a little bit more. Cats are being more aggressive.
But which generation is it? Is it the generation that don't want to be on the FaceTime? Is it the?
It's some OGs like my.
You know what I'm saying?
Like my man's doing jackets. Like a lot of cats are doing like artwork, like personalized jackets, stuff like celebrities and stuff like that. So cats are taking it to a level. A lot of cats got merch pages and stuff like that, pumping their stuff and everything. Established. A lot of the OGs are really. They got their own like like Shopify's and stuff like that, where they're pumping all their merch, their big cartel pages and stuff like that, pins. You know. So cats are actually doing it, man. I mean, I will say that. Excuse me, and it's good
I
to
hope
see.
they are, bro.
And it's good to see.
I hope they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's their time, man. Especially with the NFTs and things that are set up around artistry, they should be killing right now.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
They should be able to. They should be killing right now.
Yeah, no, a lot of the cats are working, man. Big up to my man Totem, TC5, my man Zero One. OGs from like the early '80s are like really putting in work. He did my man Totem did a jacket for the dude. I forgot his name. Ghost from Power from
Right.
he did a jacket for him. So yeah, so a lot of cats are working, man. A lot of cats are killing it right now. So
I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to learn that, my lord.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
For real.
I hope it's the real ones. I hope it's the real ones, man. Get off the renegade and get your paper, man.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying?
It's really good because it's transitioned from, oh, you a sellout to,
yes,
go get that money.
Exactly.
Go do what you do and get that money. So let's move to DJing. Let's move to DJing.
Yes. All right.
My number one across the fucking board, my number one rule, and you always play devil's advocate with me. Sometimes when I think you're gonna agree with me, like, well, no, and I'm like, what you mean, well, no? So,
because I know already, ain't no book handed to these fools, bro. They don't know. Everybody was freestyling for the longest time, bro.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And we can't go back and be like, yo, you got to do it like this. You got to do it like that. Shit, in a perfect world, hell yeah, I would love to do that, but you already know.
All right.
You know, this is human beings. There's too much expression.
So I got, and I'll qualify by saying,
yes.
Big up Just Blaze. Big up DJ Mark Love. Big up everybody.
Oh, that's what's up.
Everybody. So I'll qualify by saying, I feel
big up
that to be considered a DJ,
yes,
you have to know how to spin vinyl. Like, I'm not saying you have to do it now, maybe, because I get it, the time to change and want to carry all these records. I get it now. But you still have to know. It's like if you're a graphic designer, like, I still know how to do shit like the old school way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As far as like there's certain shit, like, you still know the foundation. So to me, that's my number one rule. I prefer, to be honest with you, at least to hear cats out on the Serato than the CDJ. But that's what I'll say. That, to me, that's my number one thing. You at least to be considered a real DJ, because I got a dope playlist. I put my playlist against anybody. I can blend, and I'll figure this shit out in 2 seconds. And I'll be DJ Tamalski, nice as fuck, my nigga. And you know what I'm saying? So what do you feel about that?
Now, let me ask you a question. What prize do you get when you play this vinyl in 2021? Who's giving out the trophies and the McDonald medals and shit to say, oh man, you're a real DJ. You pulled out an old Phyllis Hyman break or whatever the hell. Who's giving prizes for that? That's what I'm asking you. Who's giving prizes for that? For us to deny the technology. Even some of the DJs on this list right now, on the guest list right now, were rebelling against Serato and eventually realized that it's better to have it because you don't have 4 or 5 dudes carrying crates for you no more. All right? You carry around heavy vinyl. Vinyl is for the house now. When you're going out, you know, there's a way to combine this. If you're really a collector, do that shit at home. But when you're out here and got to move around to these parties and different things of that nature, there's nothing easier than carrying a hard drive, a computer, and a CDJ and going to do what you have to do. Or get you a little controller or whatever.
I'm asking the question, though. You don't even think you should. I'm not saying you should do it now. I'm saying you don't even think you should know how to do it. Like, as a DJ now, like, I mean, you don't think, that's what I'm saying. You don't think, I'm asking about this, the craft itself. Like, you don't think a DJ should like start out on, like, know how to do that? Or you don't think it's necessary?
It doesn't.
Huh?
It doesn't make a difference because the technology is molded like the vinyl. The Serato platter is the wax. You know what I'm saying? Now your DJ is proved to be like, how much juice do I have? Can I go and collect from other DJs and get me a nice little, you know, hard drive of some real serious joints through decades of music. You know, if I look at a DJ's hard drive and I see from 1970 all the way to 2021, then I know that's an active collector. If they're just one of these new, you know, digital bebop DJs who just came in 4 or 5 years ago, they just playing, you know, the shit that we talk about, the off rhythm robotic voice shit. The DJ is the historian. The DJ is the one that bounces through the eras at the club. So it doesn't necessarily have to start with a vinyl type of situation. You have to make sure that your collection is universal, in my opinion. You don't have to actually even touch a level of vinyl, but your music knowledge in your hard drive should reflect your journey to me.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
In your book, I'm a fucking DJ. Then I'm nice as fuck, then, man. I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. If that's because to me, if that's what matters, then
hey,
I mean, I don't like
real
the
shit.
first person that's ever said that to me. I mean, typically when I bring that up, like, you know what I'm saying, big up to DJs that I've interviewed on here, I've been like, yo, you gotta fucking rock with the vinyl. At least rock with it in the beginning, like know what the fuck it's about. So if that if you're saying nah, then I feel like, all right, then, you know what I'm saying, I should start my career right now then, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, and that's how, and that's what's been happening. Let me give you an example. All right, let me give you an example. I came up in the era of analog studios. All right. Mm-hmm. Now, when we started teaching young heads how to do the equipment, the argument was, hey, do we take them back to the reel and the old Akai 950 or whatever case may be to learn the analog points or whatever before it became da-da-da-da-da? And, you know, what the result was, when will they ever use that knowledge? When you go to a studio now, where are you going to use the knowledge of how to use reel to reel? Or, you know, the manual controls on the board, doing that instead of automating. What is that doing for you? Mm. you get no awards for that. If you know what I'm saying, nobody's gonna say, hey man, I had such a good time with that reel to reel today. I think I'm gonna buy that $10,000 old fucking clunky ass machine and put it in my fucking house. Yeah. Real science, my lord. That math has no use. So if I gave a new DJ, hey, you starting out, hey, I'm going to send you 200 pieces of vinyl to your house, and I want you to rub every one of them, and then I'll buy you DJ Fresh of whatever. Nobody cares about that shit, man. The thing is that your catalog has to take me through journeys. A DJ who knows how to keep the rhythm consistently and bounce through eras is the true OG, in my opinion. It doesn't matter if you ever touched the vinyl in your life. If you are a 25-year-old DJ and you can go take me back to Love Is the Message and all kind of breaks and shit that we can jam and then bring me up to the era, Big Pimpin', this, that, and the other, and everybody's still on the floor, you have the skill and the talent, period. It don't take you to touch no vinyl for that. Again, there's no rules and no books on that.
I'm a DJ. I'm a DJ.
How much vinyl does it take? How much vinyl does it take for you to touch in order for somebody to consider you a real fucking DJ? That's crazy as fuck, bro. And I'm a DJ talking this shit. I held on to the vinyl so long, my lord. All my instrumentals for X-Clan shows were vinyl, and I'm holding on to that. And cats are going into the instant replays, CDJs, all this, and I'm staying loyal to this, carrying these heavy ass turntables and vinyl to be on and set up shop when I could just be like CDJ, pop in, boom, XLR, go, do my thing. Come on, man. Make it easier for yourself to enjoy the craft instead of trying to take your, you know, the personal love of analog. I love analog sound, but now it's time to upgrade. It's time to upgrade into where whatever we loved of that era, learn how to play it now. Stop sampling it from other people. You know what I'm saying? All of these conversations we having are really like upgrade and organize the element in order to represent it in the new millennium. That's where it's gonna all boil down to, in my opinion, my lord.
Good. I like your tech. I appreciate it, man. It's funny because that's not the common take that I've heard when I brought that question up. So I do appreciate it. The next, you brought up something that was critical. I big up everybody in the show. Big up D Nice just joining in, so other heads joining in. So you brought up something I think was critical. I think we can agree on this. As far as rocking the crowd, like we said, taking you on a journey. So I certainly feel that was my next point. Like the DJ needs to rock to the crowd. I've seen so many DJs with their head down. People are rocking to their because they got some predetermined shit they want to do in their head at a show, at a fucking party. People are rocking to their shit. They go into something else. Everyone sits down. He's still like thinking like his shit is fucking fire. Like, yo, everyone's sitting down, be like,
yeah.
So,
yeah, you can't be on your own dick at a party, man. You're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be the one that's pleasing the audience. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to sit down. I want cats to catch a heart attack on the floor like they couldn't leave. I don't want you to go get no water, no Kool-Aid, no nothing, man. I want you to pass out cramps on the floor. That's OG DJing to me. I don't care if it's a Serato or analog, vinyl, whatever the case may be. I don't care what it is. I want them catching cramps and passing out. And that's where you measure the DJ at. You know what I'm saying? The one who knows how to keep the party up. You got cats who got thousands of records and don't know how to spin and blend. You know what I'm saying? So the vinyl doesn't matter.
Transitions be terrible. Like
terrible as hell. It's hell. You know what I'm saying?
Grating on the ears. Like you're like,
You already know. I hate that. You want to go out and have a good time with your folks, and the dude is waiting till the record to end and then putting on another record. I didn't ask you for iPod playlist type of setup, homie. I come here, paid to get in the door for you to keep me on here till I pass out. I want to run to the bar like
I can plug my phone in and do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
correct.
You know?
Correct. But that's the difference. We should be teaching music theory to the young heads and music history to the young heads to have to respect our era and where we took from our parents' records and started playing, because that's where we learned it from. We wasn't old enough to buy these records and go to the shops. We was getting them from our aunts and uncles and all. I made East Blackers off my family's records in the closet, bro. Come on, man. I wasn't going to buy all of it stuff I was sampling, George Clinton and all that stuff, man. I wasn't doing none of that. I was taking from the closet and putting it on a thing, and then I started learning how to do it at the parties, and I continued to evolve. And now I can take people through dimensions of here's y'all era, here's my era, here's a little blending of both. You take people through the journey. That's what the DJ is. Say what's up. Say what's up to my son, man.
Peace.
My oldest Mosiah, man.
Peace to the young God.
Yeah.
Salute.
Yay, man.
All right. So let's move into some of the unwritten rules that are kind of across the elements, and we'll kind of look at specifically MCing too. We got 20 minutes. We'll stop it. We'll stop at 9 and then run it back.
All right.
So, and I even put this out to to everyone on the page. I was like, "Yo, name some unwritten hip hop rules." So we got a lot of the same answers. So I'll basically share a couple of the ones that came up the most.
All right.
Unwritten rules across the elements. No biting. So I'll let you just run with that.
All right. So we were talking about this on the horn, you know. I don't like how when something is successful, the bandwagon that tries to imitate. All right. Now we come up in the era where if there was an MC Hammer one day, there'd be a Vanilla Ice the next day. If there was, a LL Cool J, there'd be a Marky Mark, the next day. We came up through like one or two clones that were trying to get close to what our superstars were. Now it's like as soon as the record hits, there's 4 or 5 different versions of that voice. And we spoke about people that like Ghostface and what's the kid's name that sounded like him?
Action Bronson.
I didn't even know who the hell he was. And I'm sitting one day and I'm listening. I'm like, damn, Ghost sound different. And the beat choice was different. You know, I'm thinking, you know, with Ghost, it's like an old nasty sample, you know what I'm saying? You know, doing something different. And this was like a different kind of beat and a different kind of pocket, but it sounded like Ghostface all day to me. And I was like, yo, man, and the guy said, yo, man, that's not Ghostface. I said, what are you talking about? That sounds like Ghostface as fuck to me. Am I crazy? Then I started seeing, you know, on TV, you know, when they were approaching him, and he was like, well, no, hell no. You know, this is my style. And I'll wax Ghost too. You know, like, damn, you bit so deep that you believe this shit. You know what I'm saying? And it confused me that the audience accepted that. All the fans of the original style of that. If I came out with a song and was going and showing and flowing and saying and saying, yo, I'm Big Daddy J, yo, you should ban me. Period. You know what I'm saying? And hip hop doesn't have that container and that power to just be like, you know, like how a cancel culture is or something. You need to start shutting that down, because now you start seeing Panda and Future. I swore Panda was Future. I'm listening to the record like, damn, okay, this is different. You know what I'm saying? He got another joint banging, and dude says, oh, it's not Future, that's Panda. Or whatever the kid's name. I don't know. You know, my ears to the street, but I don't really know these dudes like that. And I'm not disrespecting them, but you know, you got to be true to where you give your style. Even Nas will give it up to Rakim to say, yo, man, this is where I kind of molded my shit, like how a Kobe and Jordan was. You know what I'm saying? If Kobe went out there, stuck his tongue out and did the shit that Jordan did and said, no, this is my shit, you know good and well. Hell no. So what's the difference with hip hop? And because we don't have that kind of respect to say, yo, man, respect that man craft. How you just going to bite off him like that? You still in the oven. You can be inspired by him and have some raps that sound like him, but to come out and then create a whole different career with the same cadence and the same shit, that's ridiculous to me, bro. And that shit happens all the time. I see it all the time. I see people plagiarize my music, bro. Come out, you know, and take the hooks and try to add all kind of new shit. Like, you know, I'm giving tribute to you, but I put some new lyrics and a new dude on there. I saw some shit B.O.B. rhyming to Grand Verbalizer, and the producer is coming to me like I threw a tribute to me. How you do a tribute and let somebody else wear my dick to work? That don't make sense to me. That's crazy as fuck to me. So, you know, and I had to say to myself, there is no book that says you can't play like as the Grand Verbalizer and put somebody else on it. And this dude is leaning all the way in, like, you know, like acting like Professor and shit, like, doing all the shit. And you gonna pass my whole shit to B.O.B. and then hit me like I threw a tribute to you for my mixtape. I borrowed your dick for the day, wore it to work, people like it. What do you think? You ain't call me with a check. You ain't call me with, yo, let me get consent first. You understand me? You didn't ask me for none of that. That's biting. That's bullshit to me. I don't care how much fan base, and I don't fuck with hip hop like that, man. I'm a messenger. I'm a member of a movement, my lord. Freedom or death for life for me. If I was a rapper, then I would be totally angry and then, you know, call the dogs and shit. But I see the game goes through that, and that's whack. And if anything, justice is justice. If it's on the streets or in the industry, it don't matter. Justice is justice. If you're baking and you get inspired by somebody, say, yo, I learned how to get a faster cadence through Kane. And then I learned how to, you know, speak a higher vocabulary from this dude. Now I'm going to go ahead and marinate that and put my vocal signature on it. And now I'm original. You got to take time in the lab. But if you take the first voice you hear and you in the shower and say, damn, I sound better than Ghostface. Let me go put it on some beats right now. You didn't even give yourself a chance to bake, to find out where your original style becomes. Everybody's so impatient with this rap thing. They think because the words click in the beat and you feel a little bit of harmony, you get happy. But what about being original first? We've lost that. And that was something that we used to have back then. Like, you didn't want to come out and be on somebody else's shit, coming to a block party or coming to a battle where you're trying to prove your brand or who you are. Because hip-hop is territory. It's like, yo, I'm from Flatbush, Brooklyn, and this is the way we rhyme, and this is the way we get down. It was territorial like that. How you bite somebody else's territory and come up talking about, yeah, I bit the dude in Detroit shit, but I'm from Rhode Island. Here I go. Give me the Rhode Island rap. Don't give me somebody else's shit. That's how I feel about that biting and cloning. I call it cloning all day long. You know what I'm saying? This is a war to clones, my dog. We deep like Star Wars right now. We in a war to clone because it's a gang. Yo, man, when Michael Jackson died, everybody high pitch. Whatever. When I look at Weeknd, I see PM Dawn. And not to say that he's not creative, but I'm just saying, as the time goes on, people want that style and bring it back. He did enough homework to be original. So I can't say, yo, you bit PM Dawn's dick, homie. I can look at Weeknd and say, yo, you remind me of the homie, but you took it somewhere else. And the production is solid around it, and I can give you a salute and not, you know, the Magic Dildo Award for biting people's shit. Real shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that. Write that down. Right, yo. Magic Dildo Award. I'm gonna make a meme for that shit tomorrow, son. Thank you very much. You just gave me some ill ass fucking content, and you made a good point. Yo, I like you. Well, segue. I like using that word. Segue to be original. That's always a fun word. Yeah. Be original. Like,
be original, my lord. Be original. Wait for yourself to bake and finish. Yes.
If you look back at '88, which is considered like, you know, like the asterisk magical year for in a lot of ways for Magic Dildo Award. Write that down. If you look back at '88, for me, '88 was like, you know, I'm a little younger than you, but for me, '88 was the year as far as you had everything from the West Coast shit,
right,
to Kane. I mean, Slick Rick came out, like so much different stuff, and it goes from that '88, '92. It's a '92 era, like new school, native tongue movement, like so much stuff going on out west. And it was a lot of hot stuff going on, and now it's like, yeah, how much can you be the same like so and so? Like that's right. What it's like. Do you sound like, oh, you guys don't sound like so and so enough, so we can't fuck with you? That's what it seems to be like. What I'm hearing from a lot of artists. But
the labels enforced that at one time. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, when you're doing a business, it's like, oh man, he got the new. The hottest beat on the street. We getting ready to call Premier and set you up and do whatever. And Premier may not be your frequency, or the other producer that you call may not be their frequency. But you're forcing them to do this to increase the business. So they inherited that from the labels. You know what I'm saying? Get on the first train smoking. This is what's going on now. Cats are doing kangaroo hop. Find you a kangaroo hop beat and get out there real quick. Put your voice. You know, if he got his shit in an F note, hit yours in the G note and do it like that, and just throw it out. Yo, man, we stayed contained so long to start acting like the industry we protected the elements from, bro. That's the whole whack shit of this conversation. Okay, we protected it so long, and then ended up giving it to these motherfuckers, and then still getting the disrespect that we tried to avoid. That's crazy. For all of the elements.
After giving, yeah, well, facts.
For all of the elements. How many cats call you to go, I'm writing a book. Tell me about your experience when you was dodging bullets and so on and so on. No, I can't. You can't live vicariously through me. Let me tell my own history. Let me tell my situation, and not you cashing out on my shit. Why can't I go get the same publishing deal? Why can't I go do the thing? You know why? Because cats are lazy as fuck. Okay, this has a lot to do. Our conversation right now is about laziness. Why couldn't you start a gymnastics school? Why couldn't you teach the difference of analog and digital and help them ride the generations? Why are you not teaching music theory to the next generation? Why is the computer teaching the young heads what we lived? That's the bullshit to me. That's why I feel the elements twist. Now they got a whole neo element world going on with hip hop. Okay, now it's, you know, you're damn near a cyborg going to go do mixing and and recording this shit now, bro. You can become Future. Download this app and just throw your vocal like this on your microphone, and you can do this. Come on, dog. That shit Roger Troutman and I was doing, I would have never tried to do it. And I love funk music. I enjoy funk music. You know what I'm saying? But I would have never tried to do what Roger Troutman did because that's an art. You know what I'm saying? You can't sell me that in the app and then I feel like the next three days later, I'm dope as Roger Troutman. I'm going to go ahead and put my record out.
Right.
That's not it. That's fooling yourself. That's not expression. That's fooling yourself. There's a reason that he's a musician and you start at an amateur level learning what that is and then you master what that is. Learn how to play the keyboard and hit the notes like him and not shift it on the computer for it to do the homework for you. Okay? These machines used to assist us and now they're teaching us. That's what's being was fucked up about the elements to me. You know what I'm saying? This is why cats feel freely to bite, because you're now getting drums off the computer. You don't have to pay for samples anymore. So they say, well, damn, if that's free, then I can just go ahead and bite that style for free too. Who wants to say something? The words are copywritten, but the flow is not. Okay? The words are copywritten, but the flow is not. A cat can bite your shit all day and get away with it and go blow up. I'm sure Bronson living much better than Ghostface right now in the post Wu-Tang situation right now. I done seen this dude TV, movie, everything. And I'm not dissing him. Everybody want to, take conversation and throw a left or whatever. I don't give a fuck. It ain't a white, black thing or whatever. I just don't like the fact that I mistaked him for the homie so deep that I stood there and said, nah, hell no, that's Ghost, nigga. I was repping for him. And sure enough, I say, oh shit, this is not Ghost. I was disappointed. Cause you can't tell me that nigga ain't sound like that, bro. I'm watching ESPN and the dude say, yo man, you don't think you sound like such and such? I'm watching this on TV. This is white people looking at this dude like, yo man, you loony or something, man? You don't feel where you sound like this? And he could have said, yo man, that's one of my biggest inspirations, homeboy. And if you want to be the white Ghost and get the consent, fucking Nas give the little Nas dude, the Western dude, the Take Me Home dude, you give him consent. He don't even sound close to the style. He just took the name. I'm the Nas of the new era. Do you post stamp on that shit? Hell fucking no, dog. I ain't never seen that dude in a cypher. I ain't never seen that nigga do shit but dress like the Western dude from Toy Story and get up in front of a bunch of fucking kids, man. And then you come out later on like the nigga from Queen on some Satan shit. You done took all the kids that followed you at the birthday party into the Garden of Eden for you to fuck the devil in the ass. Get the fuck out of here, man.
That shit was
bugging
goofy,
the fuck
yeah.
out.
That shit was goofy.
That shit is ridiculous. And again, there's no rules. We can't say, yo, that's wrong. How many times have cats come in and raped the game? When's the last time you heard Marky Mark bust a rhyme, brother? When the last time he just get the hunger and say, yo, man, fuck that. I just got a hunger to bust a rap. It ain't gonna come out. Because you use the game as a gimmick to get where you're going. Now you're the richest producer in the world. One of my favorite actors on these movies going down. But you use hip hop to get there. We allowed it. That shit wouldn't have been happening. Imagine if he came around your way, bro, where you live at, talk about, yo, Marky Mark, I'm gonna bust a verse. Come on, man. If he didn't have the styles and if he was busting like he was making them records, bro, that would be a hard day for the home. But we allow this. We allow this. That's where hip hop got soft. They play us all the time. And we can't even enjoy the purity of the elements. We can't even have the real heroes come forward because why? It don't mean shit to them to get acknowledged. That's why the homies like, yo, I don't need to be seen. Fuck that, I'm a renegade, man. I'll put something on the Citibank wall tomorrow, nigga, and say, fuck it. I don't give a shit. I didn't do it for that. That's how I saw hip-hop as a black nationalist. I said, yo, man, this is a bullhorn. I can hit 1 million people from Brooklyn from right here with the proper rap, taking everything I learned from my elders in my walk and putting it into scientific poetry and throw it at my people. Period. Being an original artist from the gate, not wanting to sound like Cool G, LL, this, that, and the other. No, I'm going to be me. They don't even give it enough time for them to be them, my lord.
Ooh.
That's the bullshit of this thing, man.
Yo,
Science, my lord.
we're gonna real talk right there, man. Joe's being dropped.